Okay, good afternoon or it's evening, everyone.
Evening.
Good evening.
Yes, we would like to welcome you on board to this 17th episode of our PMP Retrospective series. It's worth noting that this particular episode of today is completely in English, and in a way, it's to portray the promotion of the aspect of bilingualism at the level of expertise. So we are privileged today in our today's episode to listen to two inspiring voices. We have a Cameroonian and another voice from Netherlands, who are the two most recent PMP certified professionals from the June 2025 English Bootcamp. So we are going to have a series of exchanges with them in our first phase. And together we are going to dive to get to know the reality behind their PMP certification. What are the different challenges they faced? What strategies they were able to put in place? Okay. What strategies they were able to put in place? What mindset do you need? And how transformation wise has being PMP certified brought to them? So we can see that yesterday they were just aspirants, but today they are already certified and they can already share a great deal of value as to what makes the difference. So that is going to be all for our first phase for today's episode. And in the second phase, we will be very pleased to host among us a panel of guests who are as well distinguished leaders in the project management economy in Africa. And we are going to be having Okalwer from Kenya and Submissive Kumbom, who resides in the UK. So they are going to be accompanied by Isidore Fungang, who are also going to share with us their different career journeys, the lessons they have learned so far, and in terms of perspective for what holds for Africa in terms of project management economy. So we are really happy hosting all those who have been able to connect this far. We would hope that you share with us the countries where you are following this particular episode from. And in case there are any questions, we'll please you type them in the message box. We are going to review and at the given time give you the opportunity to be able to voice out your questions. So without much ado, we are going to dive the into the subject, and we are going to begin by knowing the different guests we are having today. Like I said earlier in my introduction, we are going to have Dr. Belinda Njonguo, who actually is a doctor of pharmacy. She has had so much to do in the healthcare sector with so much research that she's doing in that particular domain. So we are going to have her in during the first phase, and she's going to be accompanied by Arley Mbiatat, who is also a project engineer based in the Netherlands. He has so much to do as far as operations is concerned and maintenance. And to accompany them, we are going to have Florence Ebob, who actually is more of a professional development coach, and she's actually a consultant as of now and a mentor at expertise with over 9 years of experience. She's actually certified in business analysis, project management, and she has worked quite across a diverse number of industries, be it in Africa, be it in Europe. So we are really going to be pleased to have an face. So you permit me, I would like to dive into the subject matter, and we would like to know. Well, this question I'm going to ask to Belinda and Alia. I think you'll be able to tell us individually, like to know if how they can capture their professional journey. So, if we're to ask you in three powerful words, how do you capture the professional journey you've had through preparation until you acquired your PMP certification? What story exactly do you have to tell?
Thank you so much for this very very good intro. Hi everyone again. In three words, I'll say um I would love to use the example of different African folktales because I really love reading books. I would say adaptability, support centric, and having a teachable spirit. That's what I would love to say. And indeed, to put it more into perspective, why I chose adaptability is because I would like to mirror different African folktales, like the wise tortoise and the chameleon. We see move navigating from the health sector and now starting the PMP journey. You have to be adaptable and support centric for me because I am a collaborative leader. I work well with people, so support centric for me is because I love being around people, and I love tapping from them too. And when I talk about teaching, having a teachable spirit, I mirror out the fact that you have to be willing to learn in every sense of the word. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We really do retain more from your inspiration, being able to adapt, and also being open to be taught, and being collaborative. So thank you, Ali. Can we hear from you too? Ali, we would like to know in like three powerful words, how do you capture your journey towards obtaining your PMP certification this far? Okay, we may likely be having some small technical issues. Hopefully, Ali, you could join us in a while. So we are going to move on, hoping to have you as time goes on. So, Belinda, you did mention about being fan of, of African folk tales, and I think in terms of that, there are quite a good number of folk tales in Africa that say more about animals forming a kingdom, stories of wisdom, strength, and strategy, which are often used to define leadership within the animal kingdom. So, if we were to know, like if you were given the opportunity to embody an animal for a day, which one would you choose? And maybe how does your choice reflect your unique strengths? And we would like to know.
Okay, thank you again. Well, I am more of a perfect blend of two different animals. We have the white tortoise and the chameleon. I tried like getting like I when you asked the question, I tried like getting a particular one, but I just could not. So when I talk about like having the white tortoise and the chameleon, because those are perfect examples of those animals in our African folktales that are very adaptable. You see the chameleon and you see the white tortoise. The white tortoise has a focus goal. And you see, and I also like to add one more word, they are all dedicated. So they're adaptable, they're teachable, and they're support centric, and they are also dedicated to to their end goal. We have, when they say adaptable, we have the chameleon. The chameleon blends perfectly to its environment. So with the tortoise will navigate different paths, different terrains, terrains, be it the dry season, be it the rainy season, but they are having the focus goal. Teachable in the sense that they learn to change their colors. The chameleon learns to change their colors with seasons, with times, with wherever the environment is. The support centric mentality comes from the fact that you see the chameleon doesn't change his color unnecessarily. Wherever it goes, if it leans on a tree, it changes to green. You have the turtles at every point in time. You have animals around it that keeps on sharing it. And they are always, and I repeat, always dedicated to their various goals. Thank you.
That is very interesting to know. And I think the choice of a chameleon, it actually says so much to me because I think one of the key fundamentals in project management is servant leadership. And servant leadership, in one of its characteristics, is trying to blend to understand what your team, I mean, how they feel, how they are going to react. So I think it's quite a very good example. And I think it kind of inspires me, and I believe most of our listeners too. But I'll not be surprised if a good number of them also get inspired by your choices. And it's true, even the tortoise, we've always known him as, in all our folk tales, like as the wise one. He's seen as a slow person, but in terms of intelligence, he's like one of the most intelligent. So it's good knowing about that. Okay, while hoping to get Ali, it's true. Maybe time difference is not really helping him so much with uh, the streaming that has to travel miles and back. So we'll continue hoping to get him. I would like to know, Ali, can you get us? Okay, notwithstanding, Florence is with us, so we would like to know, like we said, this first part of our episode is to get to know the different guests we have on board for the first phase, and like I said, Florence Ebob, she has quite an impressive CV, and I would really love to, encourage all our participants to, get to her LinkedIn profile. It's quite enriching, and it has knowledge in diverse domains. So, well, Florence, we would like to know, like we spoke with Belinda about animals. Well, we know in geopolitics, it's all about nations. So I would like to know, if you had to be a nation, which particular nation would you want to embody, and or which particular nation as of now really embodies your values or your vision as per se?
That's an interesting one. I think I would go for a nation that I admire a lot for different reasons, but I would say Mauritius. I would say Mauritius. And why do I say Mauritius? Because, first of all, it's by the sea, and that shows openness to the world, which is something that I personally work to portray. It also is located in Africa, which I love very much. I'm very passionate about the African continent, but it is one of those places which is like the world in miniature. So you can be in Mauritius, and just looking at the people who live there, you feel like you have people from all over the world in the same place, independent of the color of their skin or their hair or whatever. They're still home right there. So it's that openness to the world, is that diversity, that internationality, that makes me choose Mauritius. So I want to be somebody who is open to the world, who has my mind, my horizons broad, who has diverse ideas, who doesn't limit herself based on maybe how she grew up or her nationality or her race, but is really open to experiencing all that the world has to offer. Thanks, Cedric.
Okay, that is quite interesting. At least it comes to confirm that I wasn't wrong to recommending our viewers to check on your LinkedIn profile. To actually, at least when I went through, I realized at least you are that open, and you've not only worked in Africa, but you've been able to work in Europe, and you've been a consultant to many other firms in diverse industries. So I really align with the openness aspect that you just evoked a while ago. So we have Ali back online. Hopefully this time around we could get
Yes.
to yeah. Ali, can you get us?
Yeah, I get you. Do
Okay,
you?
okay, wow, wow. It's good to have you back. And like we said, we are still at the level of breaking the ice because
Okay.
before we get into the subject matter, it's good to really break the ice. And like I will say in Africa, we are breaking the ice from the bottom. So it's good having you back. So we would like to know, like getting to know you in terms of personality. There is this famous movie I watched, like a cartoon, like they used to call it the Avatar. And in the Avatar, well, we're meant to understand that there were four particular elements that made up our space. Like you have the earth, or you call it rock. You have air, you have water, and you blend it with fire. So if I were to ask you between these four elements, which one do you think represents your character the most?
I would say the nature, because when I'm talking about nature, I'm a team spirit guy. I love working with a team, and I love seeing people growing up around me. So I'm every time looking forward to give some advice, see them growing up, see them take some risk, see them make some try. So nature.
No, okay. Like we said, it's true. In nature, you find the fire, you find the air, you find the earth, you find water. So you're wanting to make us understand that you are the
Ah,
avatar, because
what's
the
up?
avatar is the only one who masters these four elements. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's quite
I would say.
interesting to know we have you who is inspired by all these elements. Like we said, it's a puzzle piece, and each particular piece has its own role. So I think having an avatar among us is quite interesting, and it only tells us how interesting this particular episode is going to look like for our PMP retrospective. Okay, diving into the subject matter, Ali, I will just continue with you. You've been certified for about a month today. I think I'm not mistaken about that. What can you
Yeah.
say was the defining moment that like pushed you forward? Was it ambition? Was it the frustration, or did you see an opportunity that you had to get hold of it? What was that actually defining moment for you to engage into this journey?
So
Hello? Hello, Ali? Okay. Sorry, we lost you again. Nonetheless, we'll continue. Okay, Belinda, in one sentence, if we were to say, why PMP in the first place? Do you think it was like unavoidable for you to take into the next step?
Well, you said in one word, but it's one sentence, but it feels like I have more than one sentence. I have a lot of sentences to say. Well,
Yeah.
PMP really did feel like the next step for me. In one, I was intrigued. I just the word intrigued. I've been managing projects for a couple of years now, within school, out of school, and across different projects. But one thing the PMP did for me was I saw how those, because I was a member of my local chapter. So I saw how different the PMP holders managed projects. It was more structured and with what demeanor, the different mindsets they had. So I felt there was something different they were offering that I didn't have. And it felt like the PMP was the ultimate badge for me, because it's not only about getting the name attached to it, but there's something definitely different about this couple of people that are managing projects and are making me intrigued. And as a curious person, when I'm intrigued, I get to know more.
Okay, okay, okay. Like you said, we asked for a sentence, but while he went in for a small paragraph. But like you said, it's very interesting to know. We push, loving to see persons around you, their ways of doing things, making a difference. And you said, why not you in your own place? So, well, we're going to continue in that particular line. So, we'd like to know, in terms of your profession, we would like to know what particular value has this particular choice of, like you said, you saw it unavoidable as the next step for you. So, what value in your professional life has the being PMP strengthened?
Well, with the PMP has trained and detached my previous mindset, I must say. Because with the PMP, you don't just have a certificate, you have a changed and reformed and improved mindset, a project manager's mindset. With that, it has reinforced my core skills and has made me global. Because when you're managing projects from a probably a regional or an urban perspective, when you get the PMP, you get the PMI mindset, it reinforces and it detaches you from the previous notions you have. The world is different. The people you find in another zone will not be the people you have in another zone. Like PMI teaches you to be adaptable. It teaches you how to work with different people across different things, how to keep on engaging your stakeholders at every point in time. But you see, some people would want to wait to the perfect moment to just channel out and give you the total information at the very end. But PMI teaches you stakeholder engagement at every point in time, and that was a major blow over for me. So it really, really reinforces your core skills to the T. Thank you.
Okay, a reinforcement of core skills. So that is to say, normally with this strengthening of your core skills, we can say your entourage could not have, witnessed this, may not have your entourage, like they will say, should have witnessed a particular change. So, how did they react? You telling them that you are already PMP certified, or like, noticing your ways of doing things not the same as it used to be.
Well, most were curious and happy, and most were curious, I must say, because I come from a health field and pharmacy at large. So I don't just focus on pharmacy projects, but also manage projects out of pharmacy. And we have humanitarians and all the like. And most people are why the PMP? I have a family. Why the PMP? Why all the hassle? So you see, I explain the coreness and the difference with which the PMP showcases in managing your projects. Because you don't just, when you have the PMP or when you have the PMI mindset, the way you manage projects are different. It gives you a global, the main difference they have, they went with the curiosity, they came, they asked, and most were happy. Most were, isn't this something for software engineers or for engineers for tech, for finance? What are you a health pharmacist doing with the PMP? But not only am I able to manage projects, but I'm able to manage projects on the global level. I'm able to change narratives. I'm able to manage projects in a very structured manner. And it teaches me I am adaptable. I am able to engage different stakeholders across different domains. Thank you.
Okay, so that really means that at least with their show of interest, you are able to engage them to, go down the same path as you. We really hope and count that at least someone tomorrow should testify that at least I got my inspiration for being PMP certified from Belinda. So thank you very much for that wonderful insight. I've been notified that Ali is back with us. So I will just take the advantage of it and to like want to know, Ali, it's just been about a month ago that you were certified. Want to know what actually was the defining moment that like pushed you forward into having this certification? Was it maybe ambition? Was it maybe a frustration? Or did you see an opportunity that you thought the only door to having that opportunity was being PMP certified?
On my side, it was first curiosity and also ambition because as a project engineer, I was working on a big project and I wanted to understand how the project worked. Because when you are working on the project, you are too focused on the specific technical domain, and sometimes you don't know the way to uh, tackle some action, the way over to manage the project. Maybe you can forget some aspects. And I thought taking this exam, taking this certification will allow me to understand how project management work, not to focus only on technical aspect, but also on safety, on quality, on communication aspect. That was really a good asset um, in the during my PMP certification. So that was the main reason. Not only learn, also soft skills, not only technical skills.
Yeah. Thank you for that encouragement. And like you rightly said, it's a matter of a different way of doing things, a different set of skills, soft skills that you got to learn. And given that some of the things you already had to do them day to day, but not really knowing how to follow a structured pattern, but having the PMP certification helped you more to be able to overcome all of that. So if you were to look back and we ask yourself what you would what top priority did you have when you actually made this decision? Like looking back in the days, what was your top priority when you made the decision of being PMP certified?
Please, can you repeat a bit the question? I don't top priority.
Okay. Like to know before going in for this exam, did you have anything
Yeah.
like a top priority you wanted to achieve? Um,
As I said, it was mainly to understand how project worked, because sometime in communication, I didn't know the way maybe to make an email, who to include in the email, what aspect, what action I can make or not, to understand really how it works. So for me, it was my top priority because on the technical part it was already okay, but I really wanted to improve that aspect of my working habit.
okay. Okay, yeah, thank you for that insight. So, how did your entourage react when they learned that you were PMP certified?
They were all happy. Yeah? They were all happy. They encouraged me to continue getting certification, and they were also impressed because I received a lot of congratulations from my past colleague, and they know now that with this certification, I'm able to take more responsibility, and I have a concrete certification that allow me to manage myself a project, and yeah, they were all of them happy.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So we can say you are in possession of a master key that can be able to open several doors for you. So we can only congratulate you once more and wish you all the best as you pursue your career, especially as far as project management is concerned. So we won't continue without hearing also from Florence. Uh, Florence, are you still with us?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'd like to know, you are a mentor, so your way of seeing things may not be the same as our colleagues who are just recently PMP certified. So we'd like to know, what is the core belief, or what actually convinced you or inspired you to take the leap as a mentor?
Well, before being a mentor, I also was like Belinda and Arley, candidates who went through that process, who got certified, and I know what it means to put in the dedication and the effort, the discipline, even when other people don't understand, even the financial investment and everything. But yeah, to go through that journey and to succeed. And I also know that I wouldn't have succeeded if I didn't have help. I had help from people who were there to advise me, orientate me on how to go about the whole thing, and throughout the process to encourage me to keep going even when it was difficult. So, in many areas of my life, I recognize the value of getting help from others just to keep you going another day. And that's what inspired me to.
Okay, thank you for that insight. Yeah, it's often said while teaching, you learn the most. So it's quite inspiring to know what to know that you begun like Ali and Belinda, not forgetting that you also begun like me, who is still an aspirant. And so it was from being aspirant to someone certified, and today you are a mentor. So we actually hope we could also find in ourselves that call to be able to share our knowledge to others and bring them to the same world stage as well. So we would like to also know, beyond the title, what does being PMP, uh, what does being a PMP mentor mean to you? It's true, you've already told us what made you lead in being as a mentor. But if we are to keep that title aside, I think there should be another core value that that keeps you moving all along. So we'd like to know, besides the title, what does actually being a PMP mentor mean to you? Hello?
Hello, Cedric. Is that
Hello?
for me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
that is for Florence.
Okay, I do apologize that my network kicked me out. Um, I I don't know if you have asked another question other than the one I started answering before I
No,
opened up.
okay. No, okay, okay, okay. No, first we requested what conviction or what inspiration made you to take the leap as a mentor. But we would like to know, apart from just the title of being of being a PMP mentor, we would like to know, what does that using that particular role, what does it actually mean for you?
All right. I switched on my video to avoid the network problems. But yes, I think I'll just round up what I was saying earlier by saying that I had help along the way. I had help in this journey of the PMP. I've had help in different areas of my life. So I'm very grateful to the mentors that I've had. And I know the value of that help. That's why I was motivated to become a PMP mentor and offer help also to other people on the journey. So, yeah, it's not just about having that title mentor, um, it's about the value that I can offer. It's about seeing it make a difference for others, even just sharing my experience, giving some guidelines, giving some encouragement, and seeing that somehow that contributes to making someone an exceptional person.
Okay,
It's
okay.
very
Okay,
rewarding for me.
thanks so much. That be the case. Yes, being a mentor, being able to accompany others to as the same way you were accompanied. But why the choice of expertise? I think maybe you could decide to, coach other persons like individually or with other associations. But why the choice of the expertise to associate as a coach?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Ever since I got my PMP, I have had people reach out to me to find out how I did it, to get some advice, to get some orientation, to get some tips. And I've been doing that individually, just like that in an unstructured manner. But I had the privilege of knowing expertise as an organization and the people who run expertise. And I do believe in their vision. Making people and businesses better is something I strongly resonate with. I associate with organizations when I believe in them, and I know that um, achieving their goals is achieving my personal goals as well. So when expertise presented to me this opportunity of becoming a mentor, I looked at an organization that I resonated with. I looked at an activity that I found rewarding and as a means of giving back as well. And the two pieces fitted very well together. So that's why I decided to go with expertise and be a mentor with them.
Yeah, okay. At least from your speaking, we already have from our audience quite a good number of people who are showing interest. We want to say a special hello and good evening to Eric. We also have Clement who is with us. We want to say a special good evening. Those also are part of the alumni and also the new PMI chapter, which is being opened in chat. So thank you for always being around. So like we said, for as concerns questions, we'll take questions in the chat. So if there are any questions, don't hesitate to table your questions in the chat. At the appropriate moment, we'll attend to it. Okay, having gotten to know already the panel of our first phase, we'll break into a second part of our presentation, and here we'll try to know the journey that each and everyone, especially the newly certified, that they have been able to brave to reach where they are. So I will begin with Belinda. We would like to know if you could share with us in terms of your experience from the first day you sat in the class hall to prepare for this exam, right to the extent where you entered into the exam center and up till the end where you clicked on the submit button. It's sure at first I told you about the sentence and you gave me a paragraph. Hopefully, when I request a paragraph, it's not an essay. You are going to tell me on that. So, in a few words, if you can briefly describe to us how your journey from the beginning of your PMP certification journey to the moment where you submitted your exam.
I don't have any AC ready. Well, about my PMP journey. From the first day I sat in the classroom to the last day I submitted, I pressed the submit button. I would say it's been exhilarating and it's been full of with a lot of inconsistencies and consistencies. But when we talk about the PMP journey, you have to prioritize. You have to focus. You have to make sure you have an end goal in mind, because I spoke about the inconsistencies because when other things happen in life, you feel like you drop the PMP and you stop and you come back, and no, you have to be focused. You have to have a goal in mind. You have to be dedicated. And I had there were different phases where my journey wasn't a smooth one. I had so many roadblocks, so many different impediments, but you have to be dedicated, you have to be focused, and honestly, it was also liberating because spending every waking session knowing you're preparing for the PMP, you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. But when I pressed the submit button, I think I was able to breathe well and I was able to rest in the sense of the word in a very long time, more than I have in a very long while. Thank you.
Okay, like you said, there were so many challenges along the line, so many bottlenecks, but at least you were able to find opportunities in them, and you went through, and the result is a PMP certified. So, how do you situate the mentorship that was given to you by expertise? I mean, like, how did it transform your approach to be able to outsmart all these bottlenecks and challenges you faced along the line?
Um, for me to again, because when I spoke about the bottlenecks and the impediments I faced at every point in time, like I said, I am support centric. I'm a collaborative leader, and one thing expertise does is no one is left behind. No matter if you're having a bad day or you're having a bad season, everybody is going to check up on you. They're going to make sure you're focusing on the goal, because when they have from the first time they have a call with you, they get to know you beyond only being the PMP candidate. They make sure your goals are aligned. Your goals become their goals. They want to see you succeed. And at every point in time, at every hour, I repeat, at every hour, they are available for you with whatever questions, because I can't count the number of endless sessions I had in the AMs and the late PMs with questions, asking different questions, why this, why not this, but they make their goal your goal and they want to see you succeed. Because there have been times I thought of giving up on this journey, but they made sure that you have a goal in mind and they want to see you succeed. So the expertise team at different points in time, they will call, they will check up and make sure everything you're having the right mindset, you're focused, you're prioritizing everything, you're meeting up with your different goals at this point in time. Have you done this? Have you done that? And everything else. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Back again in our comment section. We are sorry. For now, there is no translation into French. This particular episode was an English, completely in English. So subsequently, we think we are going to see if it's possible to have options for translating in case we have audience who don't understand the language being used. We also want to use this opportunity to invite our viewers and those interested of the next boot camp that is set to kick off on the 10th of January 2026, and to say that is a perfect New Year gift for you to offer your loved ones, already, like Belinda said, expertise in expertise. Your priorities become our priorities. So once you are with us, our eyes are fixed on the goal. So until the goal is achieved, we don't let you down. So we are inviting all our participants to share this information to your different colleagues and your loved ones for the next boot camp. Irrespective of where you are found in the world, we are always available to give you the helping hand. So the kickoff will be on the 3rd to begin effectively on the 10th of January. So Belinda, you actually said expertise has always been there. And so I would like to know, you talked about the AMs and the PMs, mentors always being available to be able to answer your worries. If we were to ask you which of the mentors in expertise inspired you the most and why?
I would say I have coach. I have two. I have Florence and I have coach Isidore because, like I said, they make your priority theirs. They make sure with every inconsistency you have, they check up on you. Well, for I was really encouraged seeing a woman like myself taking up this role and encouraging you at different steps of the journey. When we had because we have practice sessions and in each and in different points in time when they she embodies the PMI mindset in everything she did. She, when you have an answer, she explains why. There are different ways she embodied the PMI mindset in every way possible and made you explain to you the different reasons why you should have this in mind. She explained it, she embodied it, and I was really encouraged by seeing a lady like myself within the team. And also talk about Coach Isidore because at the different points in times he told me not to give up because trust me, there were different points where I wanted to give up, and it was already stretching towards our agreed timeline. I'd already passed the agreed timeline, but at every point in time, he kept on encouraging me. He kept on telling me he believed in me and believed in the journey, that the PMP journey is something I can have. And he was always ready for a question or a worry or any different thing I had a problem with. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think thumbs up to Florence for being such an inspiration to you, and hoping that you too will be more of an inspiration to many others to at least increase the number of women in project management. So for that, we are rest assured. Okay, we have Ali back with us. So forgive me for being asking most of the questions towards Belinda. So I'll come back to Ali, and I would like to know, were there any particular tools or resources you think were key to you succeeding in this PMP exam? And if yes, which
Uh,
tools, which resources do you recommend?
mm, I would say having a good planning, one of the first best tools, because during my preparation, PMP preparation after the boot camp, after discussion with the mentors, particularly Isidore, he advised us to set up a planning with a dedicated with the exam date of the PMP, and this really pushed me up, pushed me towards the exam, pushed me towards the preparation, and it had helped me a lot to really a little bit, even if the planning little bit shift because of some constraint, it helps me to push and to learn to take as much as possible exams. So yeah, the planning was a really good tools.
No. Okay. And for the planning, Was it like you have any applications you used in doing this planning, or you just had just an agenda where you wrote in your
No, it was
on your calendar?
no, it was a simple planning on Excel. On the planning, I include the readings, all the readings I needed to, all the books I needed to read, all the exam, all the tests I needed to pass again. Because after the boot camp, I needed to read again one more time the PM Book 6, PM Book 7, the Agile Guide, the the course, the lesson that we done. I needed also to pass again the test, and those tests was really interesting. So I passed it I think even three times. So I read all the lesson three times because I was hesitating passing the exam in French or English, and finally I chose English. So I did it twice, and I put also the all the exam PMP exam simulator. For example, the PMI study hall. Yeah, five exam. I I target a date for each exam, and I pass it, and based on the result, I put also, because in the planning you need also to consider the time to make the revision, to see what was wrong in your answer, why, to answer them, to understand them. And yes, it was a big challenge considering our work the duties is really challenging. But yeah, in the planning I put everything, I set up a date. But yes, of course, due to our current work duties and family duties, the planning a little bit shift, but it was really important.
Okay. Well, it's true. There you anticipated on my next question, but I will just summarize to be sure the way I understood is also the way you mean, because having to deal with work, having to deal with family, having to deal with other things, and then more again the exams to prepare. I think at some point in time, did you like feel so much pressure? Like,
Yeah,
did you feel pressurized at some point in time based on having so much to do and not knowing where to start from and where to continue from?
yeah, I felt the pressure because at the same time at work I was ending a big project. So some days during the last two weeks or 3 weeks, I was sleeping late around 2, and I needed to wake up around 6. And yeah, it was really challenging. And at the same time, to motivate me, I was making some exercise just to challenge me and push me towards the objective, toward the target.
Okay, okay. And that is quite good to know. So in a nutshell, you had resources like the PM Book 6, the PM Book 7, the Agile Guide, and also the study hall. So like to know, the study hall, are these different tools, are they free, or you had to purchase them and
Yeah, we needed to subscribe to it. It is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is for 3 months, and it's really worth it because there's a lot of knowledge you acquire by using this tool, using this website. And with all the exam, if you trying 3 to 5 tests, I think you're really ready to go to the test. It is true at the end, I was a little bit also not confident of myself, but it was a really amazing website to use. And by the result, yeah, I was really ready. I
okay.
don't know
And
if
when
you
you
hear me
say when
because
you
I
have
have some.
no, I can get you clearly. So we'd like to know when you say if you pass at least three out of the five exams in the study hall, you are sure to make it
No, not pass,
in
not pass. If you make,
sorry, I didn't get you clearly.
not necessarily, not necessarily pass. If you can take 3 exams there, and if you can pass at least two with over 70%, I think you gain more confidence going in the exam.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what we can retain is that if you can do at least two-thirds of the exam and with a score of at least 70, there you are sure of being kind of ready to go in for the exam. So we thank you for sharing these resources and these tools. We hope that our listeners, our audience,
We hope that
can also
our
note.
audience can.
Okay. So we'd like to know, it's true, you came in a community and well, you've had what has obviously kept you motivated. But we want to know, was there a particular memorable moment you can like to share with us as far as being within the expertise community has been?
Yeah, during my PMP preparation with some aspirants, we set up a WhatsApp group. We share some question, we share some target, some objectives, and it was amazing. It was nice. Also during the revision period, it was also interesting to be amongst professional, discussing about question, about answers, understanding the point of view of everybody. It was really good memories. It was really nice, and yeah, from that you learning a lot. You're learning a lot.
Okay, thank you so much for your insight. Like it's often said, the PMP exam is not all about memorizing. That is one aspect of it that makes it identify itself as a real challenging and management defining exam because it deals with how to you handle a real life situation, given that most of the questions are like scenario based. So it's quite interesting to have the body of knowledge that permits you to be able to this feel in yourself when it comes to scenario cases. It's not all about memorizing. It's true the volume of work is important, but knowing how the different procedures, the different steps on how to handle each particular domain, it's quite key to success in this exam. So we'll go back again to Florence. I would like to know, besides the PM book, are there any other tools or resources which you consider complementary for success in the PMP exam?
Yes, I think Ali mentioned some of the other resources, but one key one which enables you to be smart about how you prepare for the exam is the exam content outline by the PMI. And because this document breaks down what is being looked for in the exam, what are the competencies that they want you to showcase when you're answering the questions. It enables you to be focused, even though there are several resources you can refer to. So the current version of the PM book, the previous one, and the agile extension, all of those things. But yes, this is an incredibly good guide. And I also want to add to that something which also Ali mentioned earlier, which is about planning. It seems trivial, but just having a solid timetable can make a huge difference for your success. And I'm saying this from experience. Um, my first try at preparing a certification was with the CAPM, and it wasn't easy. I think I passed, but I passed with some level of luck because I wasn't organized enough. So I learned my lesson from that, and subsequently in my other certifications, I've always made sure to have a proper personal timetable that keeps me on track with the content I'm supposed to cover by when, so that I can hit my target of my certification date. So it's kind of a trivial one, but it does make a huge difference to be able to organize your time into a timetable. And even if you have slip ups, it's better to adapt your timetable to catch up than to not have one at all. So that planning is absolutely crucial. Okay, thanks, Cedric.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you for that. So you've been certified PMP since 2019. I would like to know how has being PMP certified actually reshaped your personal and professional life?
Sorry about that, I was muted. Yes, starting from the title, that title is very powerful. It's very powerful, because it is so well recognized worldwide. I mean, the PMI has done an excellent job of building the credibility of that certification. No matter where you are in the world, there's someone who's going to recognize what PMP means, especially in the project management space. So I have been seen as a more performance professional, as a more credible professional, and I have been trusted with projects even outside of my immediate domain. I worked in the IT space for some time, but people would approach me with opportunities to lead projects outside of that space because they know that the PMP certifies you as a project management professional, period, independent of your space. You are equipped to manage projects wherever they are, whatever nature they hold. So that's one thing that has clearly come across, that recognition that I get that, oh, you are PMP, and being able to therefore use that as my extra advantage to have access to certain kinds of projects which are different from what I do on a daily basis. I would definitely say that this being a PMP mentor with expertise would not happen if I didn't have a PMP in the first place. So this is one of the most obvious ones. And also in terms of the exposure that I've gotten, um, because I have people who I've never met who just see my LinkedIn profile, for example, and see PMP certified and they reach out. They reach out because they want to know how to get it as well. They want to know what it's all about. They want to get some guidance. And that's how I make new connections and I expand my network. So yeah, these are some of the things that I have seen in my career because I got a PMP.
Okay, so in a nutshell, it's more of exposure, international recognition. So it's quite interesting the amount of value it has added to your personality being PMP certified. So it's true, Belinda did mention you being one of her favorite mentors, but I will return the question to you, but in a different way. You've mentored quite a number of certified professionals. Do you have any three you think inspired you differently? Why being mentored?
First of all, I want to thank Belinda for that acknowledgement. Thank you very much. And that question is a tricky one. So actually, what I would say is that each and every person that I've been able to mentor so far through the mentoring sessions has something unique about them, and it's something that I've learned to recognize in the space of professional development that I've been in the past couple of years. People come with their different stories. You can never really compare people's journeys and rank them. Um, they come with different stories and different contexts, like Belinda coming as a pharmacist, and someone else coming maybe as a construction professional. Very different contexts in their lives. But I admire those who show up consistently. despite what is happening in their spaces because they are determined. It's difficult. It's a difficult journey when you have your life going on, when you have work going on, when you have family and all of that. But people show up. They show up, they do their best. Even when I'm doing sessions in English and they are French speaking and they still try their best to express themselves in English, I really admire each and every one of them that keep showing up for these mentoring sessions. So I will leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. I will not mention any names, but I just want to say that all of these people who attend these mentoring sessions with consistency and dedication, I admire them a lot.
Okay, that answer is being very diplomatic.
Mhm.
I saw Ali smile. I just understood that well, he found himself in your expression. So it's quite interesting to be able to interact with people of different backgrounds. And like you said, each and every person is unique. So it may become a little bit different to, compare them since you don't have the same experience.
It looks like Cedric has an internet challenge. So let's just give him a few minutes.
Looks like we had some time out.
Yes, Cedric, welcome back. You are the one who was out this
Ah,
time.
okay. Okay, sorry about that. So, like I was saying, you used actually quite some diplomacy to answer that question. For feedbacks from your mentees, you said each one and every one of them is unique, but how often do you get feedback from them?
Please, can you repeat the question? How often do I?
How often do you get feedback from your mentees?
Hmm. I do, because of the way expertise structures these mentoring sessions, I do get feedback at the end of every month. But once in a while, people at least that I get to interact with outside of these sessions, like Clement there, hello Clement, I see you, thank you, would give me some feedback in some form. When they are, for example, celebrating their PMP, achieving their PMP, then I can get tagged. So apart from this monthly feedback, because expertise is so particular about quality and ensuring that the candidates get the most value, they don't play with this. So definitely I'm evaluated every month, but I get appreciation just like Clement is doing, and what Belinda did on these unplanned or unscheduled occasions. Yes.
No, okay. Okay, thank you. You like said earlier that when expertise offered you the opportunity to be a mentor, when you looked at their plan of action, you actually got so inspired and it matched with your vision and what you had aspired to do. So that was then. When you look at expertise today and you think about expertise tomorrow, in terms of project management, what trends do you observe?
Well, I do see an organization that has a vision for the long term and a vision to really impact. It's very bold. Um, they're saying they want to make people better and make organizations better, and they're using project management to do that. Um, with the number of people that are being certified, and we can see all of these celebrations happening regularly, definitely they're helping to build a pool of experts who know how to do project management with the right values. And that is changing them, changing how they work, changing how they look at things, a mindset, as Belinda said, and also changing their environment, changing the work that they're doing, the businesses that they're working in or that they have. So, and this number, there's no limit to it. The more people are getting certified, the more people are getting exposed through these and this initiative of this retrospective, for example, these events, the more you have a growing workforce or a growing pool of professionals, especially in Africa, who are getting equipped in project management and doing project management right. So for me, what I would say, the trend is very positive. Um, Expertise is making a difference locally, Africa wide, and internationally. And this will only keep getting better because I know that Belinda, Arley, Clement, you, Cedric, all of you will be ambassadors. You'll be recommending also to others that, hey, I did it and I did it through this organization. You can do it as well. And more people will get involved, more and more people will get certified. And definitely you are not just out of the picture from the moment you get certified. You're still part of the community, and that's why you're here talking to us. So this community will keep on growing. That's what I see. Will keep on growing, and we will start to make our presence felt on the continent and beyond.
Okay, thank you so much, Florence. Uh, I will get back to Belinda as well. She actually mentioned that her entourage was like very much amazed when they learned of her being PMP certified. I would like to know if you could share with us, uh, apart from the amazement of your entourage, how has the certification actually influenced your posture, the way you interact, and can we also say about your perspectives in the project management domain?
Hello, sorry, network issues. Please, can you repeat?
Okay, we would like to know, given that your colleagues were very much amazed, knowing that you had become PMP certified, we would
Not
like
ChatGPT.
you share with us
Hey.
how this certification has actually influenced your posture or your interactions at your job site, and what perspectives do you actually see having this certification as far as your work is concerned.
Well, in total, when I spoke about my colleagues, like Ali rightly said, we have soft skills. So there are different things that before having the PMP, I was not able to engage directly, but soft skills, which is the core, you need to also lead a self-management team. Sometimes it's not only about micromanaging them, but you need to ensure that your team can work without you and they are able to prioritize, they're able to self-manage, they're able to reinforce and carry on with the project and be able to be structured and follow on with the plan. Among my colleagues, among my different peers, they are really interested in the core skills that being a PMP holder and be having the PMI mindset brings forward. And with that, like Florence said, at different points in times when they ask this question, I have a little bit to say and I have a little bit to encourage them in this domain. And I'm really happy about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Belinda. So, if you were to advise someone, or let's say particularly if you were to advise giving to women currently preparing for the PMP exam, forgive me, like precising the gender, because I know, uh, we are all aware that your role in the society is quite a challenging one. So having to accommodate work and such a demanding certification, if you were to give a piece of advice, like to especially to women who are in the course of preparing for this exam, what will you have to say to them?
Okay. Thank you again. I digress a little. There's a book I love reading, The Confidence Code. And it translates that women, we love perfection. We love everything to be seasoned. We love to feel adequate before we go in for our goals or before we carry on with a task. But I, from personal experience, I'm a Christian, so a lot of those it has a lot to do with my core values. You need to believe you can do it. You need to believe that you have everything, that God has blessed you with everything that you need to carry on with this certification. So you need to get out of your head and believe that you have everything, that you have the plans, that there are people before you that have had this certification. And why not you? Why not you? If others can, why not you? That should be a core question. So if A can do this, why not you? I don't think the gender should be the problem. But like you said, the when it concerns the gender, we have a way of making things. We want things to be perfect even before asking for questions. But you have to come as you are. You have to make sure you ask the questions. Don't have a fear of seeming unintelligent or seeming of not asking the of asking the wrong questions, but make sure you ask for help even before you are perfect, because like that book I mentioned translate, we want to be perfect before even asking for help. But I think you should believe that at every point in time you have the perfect support system. You should remove the fear of seeming of looking ridiculous in front of people. You need to come and you need to associate to people and ask for help. You need to believe in yourself, believe you can do all of this, because if A can, if B can, if C can, why not you? You have a functional brain and you've been blessed with everything that you need to succeed. And when you have a goal, you can achieve it. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you so much. Like you said, many have been able to do it, so we don't make a difference. We too, we can make it. So that is quite a word to take home for our guests, who are for our audience who are listening to us. And so it's a matter of discipline. It's a matter of management. A matter of planning and applying the appropriate tools and having the appropriate mentorship. So thank you so much for that take home word. Ali, I will come back to you, seemingly in the same line as Belinda, to know what major aspects of your job have been impacted already, or do you see being impacted by you being PMP certified?
I would say my approach, because like I mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, I was too focused before on the technical domain or technical aspect of the project. And with this PMP certification or during my PMP preparation, I realized that it's not only project is not only on the execution. We have the planning, we have the pre-project, the phase before the project. We have the planning, we have the management, we have the closing. So this PMP certification now gave me a lot of tools, lot of way to see the project and to be very careful on some small aspect that seems not really interesting or not really important, but to consider every aspect, every people involved in the project, and that is mainly about the approach that has changed during my after my PMP exam certification.
Okay. I think you are a very good example of resilience. I mean, having to prepare for an exam in a language which is not your primary language, and making it through, it's quite an inspiration, and I think it's a message for many others to be able to sit in for this exam. So we would like to know if you were to give out a take home message, because we know there are so many who are still not really very certain, or are still unsure, or are still hesitant about pursuing a PMP certification. If you were to give a message for some kind of persons, what message would that be?
I would say the PMP certification is a really game changer of your way to see things, to see even life, because really, on my point of view, life is project. Everything in our life is project. So taking the PMP exam is not only designed or dedicated to engineers, but to everybody. And having the PMP exam will allow us to also well manage our life. So the advice is trying, taking it, and yeah, set up a date, the exam date for the PMP, and with the exam date, you have the pressure, and you will make it.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that insight. We are about rounding up the first phase of our 17th episode of our PMP Certification Retrospective, but we won't run up this first phase without having a take home word from our expert mentor, Florence. Florence, we would like to know, what particular message can you give for aspirants or persons who intend to pursue PMP certification?
What I would say is, first of all, have a very clear why, a very clear reason why you want the PMP, because this is what will carry you through um, when the journey gets intense, and it will. Don't just do it because everyone else is doing it. Take the time to figure out why this certification for me and for my career path. Why do I need it? Why? So this is one thing. And the other thing I would say is just jump in. Just jump in. Um, there's some piece of wisdom that I heard, that time will pass anyway. So this year, this new year 2026, for example, will come and pass anyway. So it's better to make use of it to make a difference in your life than to just let it pass. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the year, for example, you will have an Arley, you will have a Belinda who would have gone from non-certified to certified. And if you are hesitating and just not doing the work, or postponing the exam and all of that, at the same point in time, you'll be non-certified while they're certified. Same time has passed. So just go for it, do the work, and reward yourself with the success at the end. Back to you, Cedric.
Okay, like you said, that time waits for no one, and that even at the end of the year, we are going to have a Belinda, we are going to have an Ali, we are also going to have a Sohail Bashir, who has been following us from Pakistan. He also had his own certification this October, this year 2025. So that is to say, determination is the key. Like you said, having the correct answers to the why, it's quite a great deal of motivation already. So we are thanking you all who have participated in the first panel of the first phase. Thank you for being so much an inspiration, for sharing your journey, the different challenges you went through, and the key steps in making it through this certification process. So we greatly much appreciate, and we are counting on you all, like Florence said, to be ambassadors of expertise, not only expertise but also the PMI as well, to contaminate those besides us with our different mindsets, our different ways of working, so that we can have a project economy, a project management economy that will flourish in the years ahead. So we are going to transition shortly into the second phase of our retrospective for today, which is going to welcome on board two experts in the international experts in the project management domain, and as well as to continue with our consultant, our expert mentor, Florence Ebob. So I would just want to transition slowly into this second phase by presenting to us uh, the panel of our second phase, which is constituted of Okal Ware. From the introduction, he's actually a construction project manager who has previously worked with Superior Homes in Kenya, and currently is a trainer at the PMI, and he's also involved in so many social projects as far as the PMI chapter in Kenya is concerned. He has had over a decade of experience in building engineering, interior design, and project management. It is worth noting that his expertise so far has encompassed mastered planning, gate community development projects, general construction management projects, real estate management, and quality control. And we would like to let you know that he too is deeply committed in delivering sustainable and high quality with well coordinated projects with a very strong focus on efficiency, innovation, and long-term strategies that shape the future of the construction industry. Besides being an expert in construction work, Okal where is also uh, a volunteer at at the Bingo Hawks basketball team. This is quite an initiative that was being put in place at the grassroots and was initiated and dedicated to nurturing young talent and impacting life skills through sports. While working alongside a very passionate team, he also leverages community engagement and social media outreach so as to inspire local support and create a very important lasting impact. Second on the panel, we have Submissive Akumbo, who also is a seasoned IT and cybersecurity professional with over 18 years of experience in network architecture, security engineering, IT project management, and he holds quite a multitude of international certifications, among which are PMP certifications, mostly related to the IT sector, alongside multiple Cisco credentials. And all of these only go a long way to demonstrate his expertise in designing very secure infrastructure, managing very complex projects, and leading technical teams. So, Submissive has a career that spans roles in so many pre-sales engineering, technical training, and infrastructure deployment for multinational organizations, where he has consistently delivered innovative, cost-effective solutions. He too combines a very strong technical acumen with strategic leadership, and this only fosters him to ensure efficiency, compliance, and resilience in the IT sector as far as IT systems are concerned. And it's also good to know that beyond his professional achievements, he has actively contributed to community development. He is also has had so much to work with the PMI Cameroon chapter and has been a very long-standing tutor in moral education initiatives. It's good to know he's fluent in English and French, and he also leverages his talents at a global perspective while using a very collaborative approach to drive impactful results in cybersecurity. We also have in our panel of guests, well, it's going to be a reintroduction of Florence Ebob, who actually is a consultant and a trainer, a business analyst from the PMI Cameroon chapter. And she is also a mentor at Expertise. And she has long had the PMP certification, I think, since 2019. And to know that she is quite versatile as far as IT is concerned, she has quite a great deal of experience, especially in business. She has been certified in business analysis, a project manager with so much agility, and also an entrepreneur with so much to do as far as volunteering is concerned. She too has been able to work across diverse industries in Africa and in Europe through diverse sectors from telecoms to pharmaceuticals and also professional development. It's worth noting that Florence specializes in designing and implementing solutions that drive sustainable change. She's very passionate about learning and about growth, and that is why she has actively engaged herself as a volunteer, especially in areas of training and mentorship, which go alongside to foster collaboration and innovation through diverse perspectives. So these are the three guests we are going to have, whom are going to enlighten us on a broader scope of what the project management economy, what future it holds, and what perspectives for Africa and the world at large it has. So I would like to welcome you all on the panel in this second phase, and our audience would at least like to hear a greeting and maybe a complimentary introduction from you. So Okal, Submissive, and Florence, just a brief salutation before we dive into the second phase properly.
Hello, do you want me to go first, Cedric?
Yes, no problem. We are greatly honored.
Thank you for thank expertise for the opportunity. I wish to say congratulations to our colleagues who have just earned the project, the PMP, and to those who had that already, and to tell them that it is only the beginning, and Africa holds the future of projects because Africa has the youngest population in all the continents, an average age of 19, a median age of 19. And so you can imagine all kinds of projects are going to pop up like mushrooms in Africa. And so they'll have a lot of projects to manage in 5 years to come, in 10 years to come, in 20 years to come. So it's just the beginning. More is still to come in terms of project management in Africa. We are just gathering the momentum and continue to gather the skills. We are coming back, or we will be giving all our inputs from wherever we find ourselves to Africa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that compliment. Where over to you.
Thank you so much, Cedric, and thank Expertise for having me today. My name is Okal Edwinwere. I've been introduced, and I'm really, really happy to be here today with you guys. Really looking forward to an interactive session and share the knowledge I have from the experience I've been able to garner during my working years in the construction industry. And I'm really, really, really glad to be part of this panelist, having worked closely or as I say, online with Florence. I know the amount of passion she has with spreading the project management life skills and all the other PM uh, goodies to the rest of the youth in Africa. As a submissive, I put it, we really, really don't have an excuse. We have all the data that we need. You go to YouTube today, they'll tell you the same thing. You go to Google, you Google it, where to go invest next, which is the next biggest market in the world. All roads will lead you back to Africa. So if you're an African, you're in the right place, and we need to just start doing things. We have engaged a lot, we've been helped a lot, and people have realized that no one else is coming to build this continent. It's up to us. So we better gear up and be ready. So I'm really, really hoping that today's session is going to inspire the next youth out there. It's going to inspire the next project manager or uh, the next person who wants to take on the PMP certification. And I'm really, really glad to share my story and to be part of this panel. So thank you very much, and really looking forward to an interesting session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Okal. I'm sorry for not pronouncing the second name with the correct accent, but at least your introduction has made me correct. It's Were. So
Okay.
thank you so much, and we greatly look forward to having a share in your experience on how far you've gone and how you do to keep yourself as competitive as you've always been. So, well, for Florence, I think we already had about Florence, but I think it will be good again to get from her. So, Florence, just a brief compliment to your introduction.
What I'll add is one of the best experiences that I've had is to learn through people, and yes, people from all over the world doing different things. I'm very open to that, and that has really shaped my perspective on life. And that's what I just want to add, that just keep an open mind, um, especially when people are doing things which are very different from what you are used to. This is where the light bulb moments come from: creativity, innovation, and all that you can think of. And I think this is what we're also trying to achieve through these conversations. And I'm very glad to be here to share my piece and also learn from the other panelists here. That's it from me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So, we'll begin right away with Okal. You've actually led construction and you've actually built environment projects in Kenya. Could you share with us a defining moment when project management became a core part of your professional identity?
Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you, Cedric. A defining moment in my project management career would be, I'll say 3 years ago, when I was now promoted to being the project manager of the site we were running. Now, this was a 105 acres piece of land, which we were constructing 375 units. I'm originally from a coastal region called Mombasa in Kenya. So the company was from Nairobi, and it was their first time doing an investment in Kenya. And it was a 7 billion Kenyan shillings investment. That was a very, very huge investment, and it was a very big challenge. 3 years ago, I was still, I had an experience of 7 years. Part of that 7 years experience was 1 year freelancing, because immediately after my college years, I joined a company called Coast Building. I did work there for 2 years, and I decided to do freelancing. So part of that 7 years experience I had was 1 year off the employment cycle. So when I got back to it, I started as a clerk of works and involved periodically to being the project manager of that site. Now it was pretty difficult for me because I was a builder. I was someone who was used to actually executing things on site, and that's a totally different way of running things away from being a project manager. So when I was promoted to being the project manager, I needed a tool which could help me maneuver through this that task which was ahead of me. Now it was very tricky because we had pressure. You know, running a 105 acres piece of land, we had like 1,000 workers in a day, and we had a team of around 20 guys in the office. The rest were, you know, construction. We normally is more normally comprised of unskilled labor. So timelines were always tight. Schedules were always very tricky to adhere to. All stakeholders would, everything was in shambles, and we were still delivering. So I took it upon myself. I needed a tool that could really help me align whatever was going on. We were delivering, yes, but how were we delivering these things? Because a project is something that had a start and a finish. That was pretty obvious. But what happens in between the two is what really determine how that project is going to end. So I decided to do my certification, and after that, with the doing PMP, taught me one thing. Being a project manager is not all about paperwork. You just need to lead your team. I heard somewhere someone saying, as a project manager, you build a team and then you let the team build the houses you are doing. So it gave me leadership skills, clarity, and accountability. That's one thing we didn't have. Now, me having those was one thing, and then now my team, which we were still working with, did have all those. So it was again up to me to ensure that the rest of the team we are working with are all equipped with these skills. So after doing my certification, it became easier for me, but then difficult for my team. But still, again, with the project management life skills, you have every resource with you, so you can easily go online to the institute page. You'll find every tool you need to run a site. We went, created a PMO office. It started running, and we realized whatever we were missing was just clarity and communication. Clarity and communication, where you assign a task to someone and it's not complete, and then you start complaining of why the task is not complete, not knowing that you needed to guide these guys and ensure that as a project manager, you're there as a servant leader. You need to show them how are we getting to the next stage, and the guys who are there will always get inspired and start seeing that if things are working out and they're working out in a very structured manner, why don't we just align to it? It became easier. We moved from now just talking to clients to updating them prior to whatever questions they had. Everything we did was documented. Previously, we did not document anything. All the lesson learned from a single house constructed was documented somewhere. That really reduced my interaction time with the rest of the team, because now if a problem had crop up and a similar problem had been tackled a few days or a few months or a few years ago, because it's the same houses with real estate, with a master gated community, you are constructing basically the same house types. We had like 6 house types. So these 6 house types, these houses were supposed to be 365. So at any given time, you're just doing repetitive work. But then again, with the repetitive work without structure, you're not able to execute it with the ease, with the correct budget, with everything. So we clarified our scope and roles. We planned sequence on how we are going to execute things. We improved our communication, and we managed the risk and stakeholders. And the best part, we introduced a agile way of management in construction, because we had also learned about agile. It was very tricky at first to use it in construction, but trust me, it did work for us. And that evolving from now being just a normal builder to a project manager who is certified, that really created a defining moment in my project management career. Cedric, I hope I've answered your question.
The answer has been very exhaustive, because at least it dives us in and transitions to your motivation already, to being a trainer and a mentor at the level of the Kenyan chapter. And it's quite an impressive an impressive takeaway. At least knowing that you already acquired the skills, but that your team also needs to have the same skills, and you have that as a motivation to, be able to train them, and not only training them, but training other future project managers in Kenya. So that is very interesting, and it's so inspiring. I would like to ask Submissive, given that he has spent so much time at the level of the IT sector. It's been over almost two 20 years that he has been working in the IT sector. We would like to know, with all this experience, how did the PMP or certification enhance your role in the IT and tech space?
Yeah, hello, Cedric. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
5.5.
All right. Actually, the turning point in my life when I realized that PMP was the way to go, I came in October 2013 when I was employed by an IT services provider in Cameroon, in Douala. And this IT services provider had the headquarters there in somewhere in Douala, Kumasi, but had branch offices in the CEMAC zone, in Chad and everywhere. The countries of the CEMAC we know. And their principal way of operation was going in for bids for projects, winning projects, and doing these projects for their clients, for their potential clients and for their existing clients. And they had heavyweight clients, like you can imagine Mbiatat being one of them. And so I was employed as manager of pre-sales. In fact, they were bidding for a project with the Cameroon Airlines, so I reported to Douala at the time. And one of the elimination criteria was to get a member, someone among their employee who had a professional certification in computer networking infrastructure from one of the leading vendors at the time, Cisco. And that's how they came for me. From October 2013 to February 2014, Cedric, I was promoted to manager of pre-sales, handling all projects for that organization in all the CEMAC regions. And I had the responsibility of managing 12 engineers, IT engineers in different domains, and specializing with different vendor technologies like IBM, Dell, we can name them. And so one of the greatest challenge, or one of the most challenging stakeholder, in my space, were my own very colleagues, those engineers. Being in a very sensitive cultural, socio-political environment, they did not understand why I was made a manager over them when they had been like 5-6 years, working for that organization. I came newly and I was made the manager. And so I had the challenge of dying to myself and getting the team focused on achieving the goals of the organization. And so, the change management, from the people's side, getting their mindset focused, on doing the work and promoting the company instead of focusing on me as an individual. And I saw project management as the tool that I needed, to be self-organized, coordinate, and drive several projects going on in different countries, in different domains, with different vendor technologies, and developing the capacity of my team members at the same time. I had to carve out a capacity development roadmap for each of these engineers because we had to move them from what the associate level to the professional level and to the expert level in various domains with different vendor technologies, because that was what it meant to be an IT services provider in the CEMAC region. So PMP was the answer. And so I wrote PMP for the first time in 2013. I didn't make it. And I said, oh my God, I'm not giving up. And I had a mentor at the time who was a senior manager in Sonel at the time. He was a professional in accounting and expert, but he was managing also most of the projects for Sonel at the time. So I went to him, and he had to buy books at the time for me that had text, that had video, that had voice, and to help me achieve this certification at the time. So I was able, to formalize, to understand, to gain insight, how to be a team leader, keep the team focused, communicate excellently with all the different stakeholders, some that needed reports to be imagery, to be empirical, with brief stories, letting them know how the projects are evolving. Are they going on time? Are they running behind schedule? Are they moving according to budget? And PMP was the answer, and it was a turning point in my life. Maybe I should stop there for now, Cedric. I can't keep talking.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
like you rightly said, the IT domain is quite a competitive domain, and I think so far, if we've had so much the involvement in the project management sector, the IT sector has had so much to contribute in standardizing what project management is all about. Because when we look at it, we see most of what we do today, a good number of it has been shaped by IT. And I think Cisco, for instance, is actually one of the internationally recognized bodies that has to do with all with IT networking. And even while we were growing in those days, that is what we knew as reference as far as IT was concerned. Till recently, when we came to understand that PMP was an elder brother that englobed or that could find itself like embodying all the domains. So it's quite interesting, your resume. And we would like to know, looking at it and seeing how fast the IT domain is evolving these days with the coming of AI. We already have some other notions that are going far beyond AI, which is the generative AI. And to know that you yourself, you have kept yourself up to date. You have not relented like to be self-content with what you already know, but you are also evolving with the stakes in IT. So how do you see this evolvement in IT? How does it shape the future of project management in your own point of view?
Sincerely, Cedric, this is an additional tool to accompany project managers to be to deliver professionally and to perform better It enables project managers to, to gain time in some of the things they do, preparing reports, and so depending on the aspect, doing schedules, instead of depending on the manual or the other soft tools that at the beginning that needed lots of let's say brain input. Now you just do some, you interrogate and give some information to some particular, some AI that has been tailored for project management, like Infinity for our case, and it will do what you intend, you want to do, like preparing excellent templates, reports, schedules, so you gain time in less time than we used to do before. So it's a tool. It's not something that is coming to replace, that body of knowledge, but it's something that is coming to complement, how we work, how we deliver. And just to share with the audience, it would be February will be exactly 2 years as I relocated to UK, England particularly. The organization I work for initially gave me a digitization work, transforming manual archives into digital archives. And while I was doing that, it was a permanent role. The position of IT coordinator became vacant. And, it was published, and they have been interviewing, people have been applying. But someone within the executive, the board of directors, had to tell the operations manager to tell Submissive to apply because I didn't apply. And when I applied, I was successful. And this 1st December, they gave me a letter of intent that they are offering me the position of IT coordinator. And I'll have to start onboarding and handle the archive work when it finishes by March or by December. Then I'll be full-time IT coordinator. And I wish to share with the audience that what gave me the competitive edge was project management, because the other candidates had all the expertise, the skills, and the competencies in IT, but they had observed me while doing the archive work that I was able to interact so well with the various stakeholders at different levels. I couldn't, do reporting excellently, where I was committed, I was self-organized, and they trusted. And then they now recall that I also had IT competency. And they said, let them take me through the normal formal interview procedure. And imagine in an environment where they first of all have prejudice about the color of our skin, where we are coming from, and then they were moved to say, okay, let us take a chance and try. And they got it. So PMP, it's something that gives you a competitive edge. If they need to single you out, from a pool of people with lots of competence, a combination of competence. And AI, it's there to facilitate. So we should get ourselves acquainted with AI. It's broad, but try to narrow down to the part of AI that helps us become very performant as PM project management professionals. Sorry, Cedric, I talk too much.
No, thank you. It's not a matter of talking too much, man. It's just a belief that you have so much you really want to share with the audience. Fortunately for us, time is not really so much on our side. If not, we are hoping to schedule maybe another session where we could dedicate it fully for you to actually have enough time to share all that broad knowledge to our audience. So, like you rightly said, PMP actually gives you a competitive edge, and some people will say it's an entry ticket into the management world. Well, my question, I'm going to send it to Florence. Like from her perspective as a mentor, I would like to know, apart from having PMP as an entry ticket, and like a submissive rightly said, it actually gives a competitive edge in terms of opportunity. What are some other top power skills you think senior leaders actually need or are looking for right now, which may not necessarily be found in the PM book guide? I think I'm going back to Florence as far as that question is concerned.
Okay, thank you. To answer this question, I'm going to use my co-panelists because these guys. Okay, let me start with one. I'll start with submissive. Submissive, as soon as he takes the floor to speak, he smiles, he sends out so much positive energy. If you are working with a leader like that, even if the work is difficult, you feel like you can do it, right? And that's just to say that positivity matters. That positivity matters. Keeping high spirits, um, hoping for the best, working for the best, and just giving of that energy. For me, it's a powerful skill for a leader to have, because everything starts in the mind before it manifests, right? If people don't really believe in what they're doing, they'll be going through the motions, and even the output of their work will be low quality. But a leader who is able to infuse, first of all, belief in the vision, optimism, passion, and positivity, to make you enjoy what you're doing, to make you see that what you're doing is valuable and appreciated. That is something definitely worth having for a leader. And the second one, I will take my other panelists. I'm putting you on the spot, Edwin, because I had a chance to meet Edwin. We met in Kigali last year for at a conference, and he received me in Mombasa. He actually showed me his workplace. I had a chance to meet some of his colleagues. One of them, and this guy was saying so many good things about Edwin. I didn't tell him at the time, but he was saying so many good things about Edwin and how much of a great leader Edwin is, because of the amount of respect and care that he was able to give this guy. So behind your back, your collaborators can say good things about you because you have treated them well. You have treated them well. You've given them the respect, excuse me, respect and dignity that they deserve, and the care. Um, and I think people resonate a lot with that. So this is another skill that I want to highlight for a leader: being able to show genuine care and respect for your people, even as you do, even as you do the hard, difficult work of leadership. So a shout out to you, Edwin. You may guess who I'm talking about. I'll not mention their name, but definitely you've left a very good impression on your people and a very good impact. So I think leaders should have that level of care for the other, because people sense it when you really care, and people sense it when you're just pretending and you're using them, and they'll respond accordingly. It's all about what they say about you behind your back, right? And the last one I would say is your ability to, excuse me, have cough. Your ability to manage conflict. And this is from my experience, having made all the mistakes, because I personally, I'm someone who doesn't like confrontation and conflict, but as a leader you need to do it. And there's a way to do it. If you do it properly, you build teams that are able to express themselves without fear of repercussions, to be able to say we are not fine with this or that, we disagree, I disagree, but doing it in a respectful manner, because it's you need to address conflicts. You don't avoid them, you face them, you manage them, and you get to a solution with your team, even with all the negative emotions that come with that. So this is one of the things definitely that leaders should have. May not have been said directly the way I've said it in the PMBOK guide, but these are three aspects that I think leaders should have. One is the positivity, the optimism, and the second is the care and respect for your people, and the third is your ability to be bold enough to manage those conflicts and manage them well. Okay, back to you, Cedric.
Okay, okay. Really, I'm so very much glad to share the panel with you. There is so much insight from your experience and your ways of doing things. Like you said, submissive smile could not really go without being noticed. And I want to think it's actually contaminating the whole panel, and it's actually something that drives positive energy along. And like Florence rightly said, we used to have some teachers in those days that when he's punishing you, he's smiling at you, and you I know that yes, I actually deserve what I want, but shortly afterwards you still get back and you work with him, and you people get the acquired results. So I think it's actually something very very good, and something to take along. Like you said, another power skill was the ability or the boldness to be able to face a risk. I would like to come back to submissive. Like to know, given that he's in the IT sector, we know how much cybersecurity challenges have been recently to most global industries. I want to know, given your PMP certification, and in terms of risk management, we also have to see how the stakeholder expectations get into it. How have you been able to, wave through that to be able to maintain your professional credibility?
Yes, Cedric, the risk management, it's really one of the skills or the domains we enrich our abilities, we enrich when we have this PMP. In fact, most of our work, I don't see any domain today that does not involve using some part of the internet or IT. And the world is full of people today who thinks that violating, gaining access to corporate IT infrastructure without authorization, they make their own living out of it. And so they are threats. They want to steal. They want to, what we call sabotage. They want to bring down the system and, and cause this. It's a way of causing an organization to lose credibility, that they are unable to render services because most of the services are now online. And so, yes, some of the systems that we design, like in the organization I'm working, there are so many experts, external experts developing websites, developing software application that I need to liaise with them. The first thing is, how safe are these websites? How safe are these applications? To give access to people who are not working from the workplace, physical workplace, because most people are working remotely. The main office is here in London, in England. There are people working from Scotland, some working from Wales, some working from Northern Ireland. How to give them access to this corporate IT infrastructure. And so we need to be very critical and advise, top management, uh, the safe measures, the controls, the implementations. And in terms of, we will not just be giving them, in terms also of financial implication. So we look for the best cybersecurity, measures, controls in function of the corporate financial capability to acquire. So this is, doing lots of due diligence before we do this. We table our proposed solutions to top management. So risk, it's like inbuilt, in our work of managing, IT projects or managing our IT stakeholders. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Like you said, the risk is actually unavoidable. And it's true, it's there are events that may happen and as well as may not happen and may have consequences which could be positive or negative. But once they happen, they become an issue. And once they're an issue, we have to sort it at once. And I think it's true, the tools we have today, project management kind of helps us to be able to anticipate in all of that to also have the appropriate response in case an event as such happens. So we actually know how sensitive that is in the IT sector, reason why we had to ask that question, to really know how in real life scenario the PMP helps you to be able to sort out those issues with risk. I'll go back to Edwin. Edwin, we have seen that you don't only work in the construction domain. You also are part of the PMI Education Foundation, and also you also have activities that you do at the level of social working. So we'd like to know, in terms of how has the PMP methodologies actually helped you to navigate such cross-border and multidisciplinary projects, like being able to, handle not only construction, also mentorship in training, and also in terms of social works?
Cedric, I must say mostly it's the flexibility and agility. Before I did my PMP certification, I only knew of one methodology in project management, which was predictive. So being in the construction industry, predictive is hugely used because we already have the building and we in paper by the architect and the engineer. So we basically know what to do. But now combining this with agile makes it very easy. I hope most of us are really, really conversant with Trello. It's a framework. I think we are currently using it majorly. Every single project we start, we normally use agile methodology. It equips us to be able to handle tasks in a much simpler way. You don't need to be looking at things every time. You have you only look at something when you really need to look at it. And another thing will now be the one that make me manage the most is now having a team. You need to have a team around you because I think there's a saying which says if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you need to go with the people around you. So you need to have a team. Like in every project I handle, I normally have the same team I work with. We don't meet, we don't have an office because most of these social impact projects, you'll find them only happening in in different times. So we plan, we have our specific days of having these meetings, whether it's on a Saturday. So I know if I have to go to the meeting on Saturday, I have my task in Trello. I need to look at where when I've completed, I just complete it. And on top of that, you need to practice on being a servant leader. So a servant leader automatically equips teamwork in your team, so that when I've not completed something, it's not basically that I had the chance to do it, but the fact that I didn't do it doesn't mean it doesn't need to be done. So you'll find another member of the team will just come in without even asking, and they'll do it because they can do the same thing the same way you want it done. So having number one is being agile. You need to be able to be flexible, move around multidisciplinaries. Number two, you need to have a team that you trust, a team that you agree will handle the things the same way you want them done. Maybe to give you a very brief background, I wasn't really a team player, sorry to say, when I started off, before I even did my PMP. I used to handle most of the things because there was that risk of having to submit something that you've not done, something that is something most of us normally have. You want to submit something that you have not done, you have let someone do it, and then you're afraid that this thing will not go the way I would want it to go out. But now PMP teaches you now, you need to be able to trust the person next to you that is going to do the right thing. Once you have that trust in your team and you have trained them and mentored them in the right way to do things, it becomes way easier. I think when growing up as most millennial, you watch a movie which used to call Rambo. This guy will be the planner, he will be the mission guy, will go and kill everyone in he will handle a whole military team for a country and come out alive. But that in real life, it's not something practical. So you need to be a team. You become the servant leader, and then you become now able to assist them. As a project manager, mainly you need to equip your team with what they need to be done. So I'll move around, I'll make some certain decisions, but most of the work we are doing together as a team. When we sit during the meeting, we just go through things that needs to be done. And this is very easy because it can really, really help you manage projects which are not even locally in your local vicinity. You can handle projects which are abroad. I think all of you have heard about M-Pesa, which is hugely used in Kenya and currently also being used in Europe, Asia, and some other parts of Middle East. The servers for M-Pesa were in Germany, and these guys still managed to run the whole thing away from Germany. So whatever methodology they were using was agile. So basically, you need to be agile and have a very, very good and robust team that you can really work around with. I think those are the key takeaways for your question, Cedric. Thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you so much. The technical team, we are having some issues with them. So we really want to appreciate the time you've taken out to, share with us. We are hoping to be able to create another session where we are really going to have enough time for you to actually share on your personal experience and your perspective for PMP in Africa. So I would like to return to the panel in a single phrase. If there's one takeaway phrase you have for our audience, for those watching us, those who are already PMP certified, those who are still aspirants, in a phrase, if you could have a key takeaway phrase, it will greatly appreciate.
Hello, Cedric.
Yes.
Continuous capacity development. That PMP is one of those certifications that gives us a lot of capacity and will give us competitive edge, over some other candidates when they need to narrow down and pick one from a pool. And after PMP, there are other certifications offered by PMI. We should continue to develop capacity. It's not a one time off, it's continuous.
Okay, thank you so very much. Continuous capacity development is what we retain for our audience. Edwin?
Hi, Cedric. Mine will be to let the audience know, and this is from a personal perspective, that PMP will turn your experience into a tool for developing others. Because when I did my PMP, I already had almost 7 years of experience in the construction industry. But what I lacked was a tool to be able to develop my team so that we can deliver the project as a team. Because with that, currently the project is in its fourth phase. Out of the 327 units, we have already managed to do 150 plus houses, and the phase one is fully complete. So if it wasn't for developing the team, then we wouldn't have really gotten to where the project is today. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, that is what we get from a mentor, encouraging others to follow in mentoring others. So using PMP as a tool for developing others, at the same time developing ourselves. Thank you very much for that very powerful word. Florence?
Yes. Project management enables you to go from ideas to reality to impact. And learning how to do project management the right way, by leveraging certifications like PMP, will create even more impact, will enable your ideas to have to a life of their own and have even more impact. And once you invest in getting project management skills, you will never you'll never lose. It will keep on paying back and paying back and paying back, because in every aspect of your life you will do things differently because you know how to manage projects. So that's all from my side. Thank you, Cedric.
Okay, thank you so much for such inspiring testimonies. We also want to use the opportunity to thank our audience, those who followed us from Pakistan, from Chad, from Kigali, from Kenya, from Cameroon. We really say thank you. And from the testimonies we've had from our panelists, they've been able to show us that PMP is far more than a title. That is actually a catalyst for personal development and transformation, and that the Africa of tomorrow is supposed to be built, or is being built, with those of us who are today, who have to be competent, committed, and certified leaders. So if you are ready to embark on the PMP adventure, it's just been normal to contact us at Expertise. And without hesitating, we are going to schedule a meeting to better understand your needs, your profile, your aspirations, so that we can co-create a tailored journey for you. Thank you, and hoping to meet you in the next episode of the PMP Certification Retrospective, episode number 18, coming up soon. Do kindly follow our different social media platforms, be it on Facebook, on YouTube, be it on LinkedIn. We'll be happy and glad if you can subscribe to our different channels, and also comment and share on the different contents you find on these different websites. Thank you all, and we wish you all a pleasant evening and a graceful week as it begins tomorrow. Till next time. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.